The Wonder Dog is typically our production assistant. We're live now? What happened to the intro music? Are we doing intro music? Welcome to Table Talk, where there's always room at the table. I am your host, Jonathan Harmon of the J Harmon Home Team, and we can't wait to talk to these fine guests. Enjoy the show. Jonathan Harmon with the J Harmon Home Team, powered by Keller Williams. I've got my ops boss, Michelle Reeves, here with me. How are you?
Hey, y'all. I'm good.
That was the most Southern I've ever heard you. Ever.
Boss, we haven't talked about my day today, so I'm kind of tired. That's why.
And we've got Trent back there that does not have a microphone, so I'm going to pretend to be Trent. Hey, Trent. Hey, Jonathan. How's it going, buddy? Going pretty good. That's good. Where's Cammie today? She got the day off. Awesome. Okay. Thanks, Trent. Appreciate you, buddy. I had a little bit of caffeine right before this, so I apologize.
We can tell.
We're gonna pay some bills real quick before we get to our guest because I'm very excited. I don't want to stop that conversation once we start it. So, Mr. Bryan Nale at Primis Mortgage. Do y'all know Bryan? By the way, have you met Bryan Nale?
I don't know Bryan.
You should hit him up for some money. He's got money just falling out of his ears. Yes.
Well, we will be meeting him really soon.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm gonna go ahead and write that name.
Yep.
Down.
Write that down. Bryan, Nale. Nail. Mm-hmm. Bryan
and
with
it's
a Y.
Bryan with a Y.
Okay.
That's right. With Primis Bank,
The right way.
That's it. He underwrites this show and he supports all things Spread the Positive. He is just a genuinely good dude, and does a lot to help our community, including supporting Spread the Positive. So Trent, if you can roll tape.
Hey, my name is Bryan Nale. I'm a mortgage loan officer with Primis Bank Mortgage, and I want to tell you that I absolutely love being a member of the Spread the Positive Network. It's such a great mission, and it helps bring so much positivity to our community. It's a true pleasure to be part of. There are a lot of ways to navigate financing a home, and in markets like this, having the advice of a trusted local professional is key to making sure you get the right advice for your specific circumstances. Whether you're interested in the purchase of a new home, second home, or have a need for a refinance, I'd love to earn your trust. If I can help you nail your mortgage, call me at 615-243-3976 or visit nailyourmortgage.com, and I'll be happy to talk with you.
Primis Mortgage is a subsidiary of Primis Bank, a member FDIC. Equal housing opportunity. As always, all loans are subject to approval. Primis Mortgage, NMLS number 1894879.
He said nail your mortgage because his last name's Nail. Isn't that fantastic?
That's quick.
I love that guy. But anyway, he is the go-to mortgage guy for the J Harmon Home Team, and also just a genuine good person to have in our community. So we love you, Bryan. Thank you for supporting Spread the Positive. I've got Miss Liz Rueby.
Hey.
And I love your title, Senior Director of Museum Experience.
It's pretty fancy, isn't it?
It is, and you have to say it that way. You can't just say Senior Executive. You can't do that. And I've got Miss Tara McDougall, the President and CEO. Both of you guys are from the Discovery Center at Murfree Spring. And guys, if you live in Rutherford County, if you live in Coffee County, if you live in Davidson County, Williamson County, Wilson County, Cannon County, and you haven't visited the Discovery Center, you need to do that like this week.
It's time.
Absolutely.
It's time. You are missing out. That place is cool.
Yeah, and it never fails that when we do have visitors from counties around Middle Tennessee, they all say the same thing. We want this in our community.
Yeah.
So we never take it for granted that we have this here in Murfreesboro and Rutherford County.
All right. So I grew up in Smyrna, spent a lot of time in Murfreesboro, went to college at MTSU and all that. And the Discovery Center is an evolution, isn't it? Because I remember the Discovery House.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. And you remember Maple Street, and the fire truck was actually outside.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So when we built the new building around the fire truck.
Really?
Yes. And that fire truck is historic. It used to go all along and put out fires years ago. So we get firefighters come in that remember it. And the fire department's so good to us, and they help take care of it. And So
it was an active Murfreesboro
yes.
fire truck.
Mm-hmm.
That is super cool. That is
It
super
is
cool.
very cool.
Now, Liz, you joined the Discovery Center recently.
A month ago.
Yeah, like very recently.
Very recent.
And what did you do before that?
I was assistant principal in a Murfreesboro City School.
Right on. And there's lots of answers, and you don't have to go into all of them. Former high school teacher.
Okay.
I understand some of those answers, but what drew you out of the school system to come help at the Discovery Center?
Tara.
It's all your fault.
I like the lack of hesitation that she had with that.
I wanted to join something that I believed in. I believe in public education. Please don't get me wrong.
Sure.
Both of my sons are in public education. I love formal education, but there's something special about informal education and play and the experience. And I think it's important to be able to create that team and bring them together. And I felt like I could do that. I can create that team and bring that together.
So why did you, obviously you went after Liz here. So why Liz? Brag a little bit. We're going to turn her headphones off so she
can't hear us. I don't mind if she hears at all. It's funny how life works out. And, we'd interviewed many people, and Liz came along. She was invited to apply by someone that knew her that was on staff. And they told me, I think she's the one. And it took maybe 2 minutes in the interview. And I knew we had found the missing puzzle piece for Discovery Center that was really going to just help take us into the stratosphere with our programming and education and outreach. And she's got a dazzling can-do personality. I think the fact that she came from formal education was a plus because she really understands how informal experiential learning fits into formal education,
how they work together,
and how they can work together and work together better. So we're just thrilled.
It's like bridging that gap.
Yeah, bridging the gap.
Now, the director of museum experience. All right, unpack that for me. What in the world does that mean?
I am in charge of everything educational that goes on.
Okay.
So a little bit of field trips, any kind of professional development that we offer to teachers, camps.
So you guys do professional development.
We are working.
You teach the adults as well. Okay.
Absolutely.
So like what? Help me understand that.
So right now we have a grant, and we are bringing in informal educators and teaching them, like making them feel comfortable. Like if you're a librarian, for example, my goal is to take it to the next level and help the teachers really understand the power of tinkering and STEAM/STEM. And as these schools go through the TSIN process and become certified STEM/STEAM schools, and I say STEM/STEAM because each school gets to decide what that looks like.
And that A is arts. Is that correct?
Yes. And I want to be able to bring them into the Discovery Center and let our knowledgeable staff really take those teachers to the next level, because a lot of the teachers aren't comfortable. They don't have that viable science curriculum. And it's kind of scary. It's a scary world when you say we're just going to tinker today. They're used to very cut and dry, and just being able to make them comfortable, I think, is really important.
Well, and you always have that one kid in the class. I was always that kid that would be like, that's not correct, teacher. And that's like the worst moment ever. It's like, oh, really? And then unfortunately the kid's right. And you're like, oh, yeah. So it is, I mean, it's nerve wracking if it's not exactly your forte.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, all right. So the Discovery Center has all kinds of stuff, not just the fire truck. So walk me through what's there now. And it does rotate. It does change. What is in the building and what are you guys doing just outside the building as well?
Well, I think I'll start with what's in the building and some of the things that are new and some of the things that are going to be new in 2023. So when you come in the doors immediately to the left, I don't think a lot of families are aware that the Predators sponsored the Chill Zone. And the Chill Zone is a place where any parent or caregiver can take a child in to have time away from the noise and activity and all the excitement. So it's available. You just have to go to the front desk and request that it be opened.
I didn't know that was there.
Yeah. So that actually was just opening as the world stopped March 2020. So it's good to get the word out about that.
It's an incredible sensory room.
It is. It really is. And then the newest addition that opened Memorial Day weekend is our waterworks. And we proactively fundraised to replace the 22-year-old water table that was there that is a dinosaur in the industry in exhibits because it couldn't be repaired. And
there's a new one.
There's a brand new one with aerial balls. You've got to come. You've got to come.
Out.
I loved the old one.
Jonathan's going to leave your kids
What'd you do with the old
home.
one? Can I have it?
Well, if you had been around at the right time, you could have helped take it out. And yes, you could have had a piece of that. But we're thrilled with this. Murfreesboro Water donated raincoats that have logos on it for the kids to wear and adults to wear. And then I want to give a big shout out to Murfreesboro Electric for sponsoring the water table and TVA. So that made it possible. These exhibits are really expensive. So the water table is the newest addition. Of course, we talked about the fire truck. We've got lots of cool things going on in the studio. And a little known fact in our community is that Discovery Center was the first recipient of a Bonnaroo grant. And
Really?
that helped us from the Bonnaroo Foundation, and that helped us make the studio more accessible for all, and it went through a big redo.
So did you know? I didn't know there was a studio there.
I did not know that. I haven't been to the Discovery Center in ages.
You're
What
gonna have
kind of studio?
So studio, we will get into more of the media type studio, but right now it's maker activities, art. We have artist in residence programs. You'll probably do some of your robotics in there. So it's a maker tinkering space.
3D printer, that kind of stuff? Or?
We've had 3D printer. We took that off. We rotate things in and out. So it changes every month.
We were
So there's
building
always
houses
something
in
new.
there today. We were
Yeah,
we were taking cardboard and kids safe saws and they were designing their own houses today.
That's awesome.
It was pretty cool.
All right, so this water table news.
You've got
just,
to, and
blown my mind.
I went
Can
back
we
to
still wash away crops?
You can still wash away crops, and I have to address. I went back to the old time. It's Middle Tennessee Electric that was the sponsor.
I wasn't going to call you out on that.
So So just correcting that because we all adore Chris Jones, and I wanted to get that
for sure.
Get that right. So then Tiny Town is going to be all redone coming up. So do you remember the tree, the big tree?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That is coming out.
Where?
Don't cry.
Where is it? Or
It's
where's
still
it going to
there.
go?
You can come and say goodbye to it. It hasn't left yet.
Where's it going to go?
Well, we had really considered
Your house?
If you want it, you can come help remove it and can go to your house. We thought it may be able to be repurposed and be put outside, but it is not made of a substance that will endure the weather elements. So we have plans for a park area that will open up and really increase the sight line for parents and caregivers. There will be that dramatic play going on because we will have a stage in the corner where they will be able to do drama and costumes and that and climb up. But one of the most exciting, what I'm really excited about is the post office, which has been a really popular place, is going to be converted into a postal truck. So they
Super
same
cool.
activities, very cool, and accessible. So that will get an update. And so lots of new
You
things
guys got
happening in
all
Tiny
Lots of
Town.
kinds of stuff
facelift
going
going
on.
on.
Lots
Really.
of facelift. And then more going on upstairs. Do you want the breaking news?
Yes, we
I-
do.
I mean, so
I'll-
off camera,
I'll
she
speak for the
said,
boss.
she goes, we may be able to announce something that we just signed today. And I said, may? I mean, this is not to get all Yoda on you. You either are or you aren't, you know? So
Well, so we have that upstairs space is our temporary exhibit space
Mhm.
where sometimes we import exhibits in.
you had the wind thing. and-
Yes,
yep.
and we've had all kinds of temporary exhibits. So we signed the contract today. It'll arrive and be up beginning of January, and this is very last minute
Drum roll.
for a Wallace and Gromit exhibit. First time, it's brand new. It's only been in Birmingham, Alabama, and so we are the second stop on a national tour.
That's like the
And
clay stuff, right?
that show, yes,
Yeah.
yeah, and it's got all kinds of engineering ideas and
Well, I also looked up this.
Bi-
I just heard this in 2024.
Uh-huh.
They're actually releasing a new movie.
oh my
Really?
gosh.
Nice.
So
It's
Yeah.
British, I think, right?
It's
It-
British,
it
is
and
British.
it has that little sheep
Yep.
component to
Yeah,
it
yeah.
as well. So that will be at Discovery Center from January through May. And then the other breaking news, which has never been announced anywhere, this will arrive in September. 2023 is going to be a huge year. This will arrive in 3 18-wheelers. And it is Paw Patrol.
No
Oh
way.
my goodness.
This is a really big exhibit for Discovery Center. It is a really expensive exhibit, but we wanted to find a way to really thank the community region, all our sponsors for supporting us, for 35 plus years. And so we did a stretch. 3 18-wheelers is a huge exhibit.
That is, yeah.
And,
Yeah.
That's a
and
lot.
Michelle, the movie comes out in September, and
Of
we get
course
or
it
October. We get the
does.
exhibit in September. So
That's great.
Okay, so what do you do in the Wallace and Gromit exhibit?
we're exploring that right now. Well, this is just like late yesterday. We were asked if we wanted this exhibit. So there are various components of it. Have
Rube
you
Goldberg a little bit?
A little bit.
A little
Oh,
Rube Goldberg.
man, that is my
Yeah.
jam.
Yeah,
I saw some of
Mhm.
that.
and there's a lot of humor.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of humor. Well, the British humor,
British humor.
Right?
Yeah,
which we all love, or at least I do.
I do.
Yeah.
I
That's
like
awesome.
humor
And then
just in general, any kind.
what do you do in the Paw Patrol one?
Oh, the Paw Patrol, everything. You learn about emergency vehicles, EMTs, all our security and police and protection. And it will be
Incredible.
a
Yeah, that's gonna be
big
cool.
hit. I talked to a colleague in Texas, and they had it. And he said there was hysteria when it opened. It was such a big deal. So we're really looking forward to that.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
And then
it's really cool.
Liz can talk about, we've got so much going on outdoors
Yeah.
as well.
Oh, there's just so much going on right now at Discovery. We're doing some field studies right now.
Yeah.
We've got I don't even know. So
What's-
much.
All right. So let me ask you this.
Yeah.
What is the big snapping turtle's name?
Fluffy.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
Is it as it should be?
And it's a female.
hmm
So
I'm so impressed that you already know this.
I'm on it.
She's
Yeah.
amazing.
And my next
Well, I would
question,
have told you that. She's an awesome lady.
the little reservoir area. So
Mhm.
if you haven't been to the Discovery Center, one of the coolest things there is on the side of it, there's a beautiful area that you can just walk. You don't have to pay admission. Like it's just
Yes,
open, and
it's
you
open.
can walk and you
Mhm.
have a picnic over there, and it's gorgeous. And it's multi like terraced or whatever.
Terraced, yeah.
But there's like a reservoir there. What is that
That's the holding tank.
for?
And that was actually part of the original water supply in Murfree Spring, and then the Coca-Cola bottling area. So when I was involved way back when we were building this, and the decision was made to keep that there and the original pump house as well. So you'll see that pump house there. And then we have those water cannons, which is a great feature, but that also helps to aerate and circulate the water, because the otters love that little holding tank.
There were 4 otters out there today playing.
In it?
Not in the holding tank.
Well,
Just outside the holding
they
tank.
love the holding tank too. So
they'll go. They'll go
get
in.
How deep
and they
is that
play.
holding tank?
Well, I don't know.
Oh, 6-7 feet.
Oh, okay.
6
There's
feet.
some good sized carp in there. I mean, if you can just go on over there, as soon as they see your shadow, they can hear your voice at the vibration of walking, and you just see all the fish coming up.
Interesting.
Some largemouth bass.
But there's
in there.
otters.
But there's otters everywhere. And one day last year, I think it was, a baby otter kind of was stranded in the holding tank.
Oh no.
And so the mama was on the other side in the spring area, and the baby couldn't get out of there. So one of our staff members had to get the kayak and go in and try and rescue. And then the city, we called them, and they sent folks over as well. But I have, sometime I'll share some video that is hysterical of them all trying to get this fierce baby otter out of the holding tank. It's pretty funny.
Have you seen where the spring is? And there's a cave that goes back there.
Oh, no, maybe I haven't.
So I call it the yoga platform. There's a great space right back where the original spring is for all of the water for Murfreesboro.
So if I'm looking at the building, it's all the way in the far back, right?
Far back. So you know where the history wall is? You can walk along, you follow that all the way, and to your left is this large platform, and you can look at the original water source all in there, and then that flows through and into the wetlands.
Got it.
So the wetlands were restored. That was part of the success of this public-private partnership that we had with the state, city, and federal. We're all involved in restoring this area. So it's 22 acres of wetlands, and as you know, the boardwalk kind of circles around, and you can see all kinds of critters.
There's beavers out there too, right?
Of course, there's
I've seen
beavers.
2 beaver huts out there.
A really interesting fact is, you know how beavers build their dams and you can see the trail kind of leading to the actual dam. Well, I think it was a TWRA guy told us that the otters have started mimicking the beavers and building the same kind of dams.
No way.
Yeah, it's fascinating. So that's another.
Just in general, like otters all over the world, or your otters?
At Murfree Spring, our otters.
Your otters. Okay, you have smart otters.
So we do programming right there at the spring. We do boots, and the kids they put on the big old wading boots, and they get out there and they catch little fish with nets. It's
catch and release.
Catch and release,
of course.
Yeah.
That's cool. Now you guys said that today, and I've seen this periodically. You'll have an opportunity for people to get in kayaks and essentially float the wetlands and help clean up trash. I'll never forget. It was probably 3 years ago. I guess the world was shut down, and so I decided to go run the boardwalk because it's nice, and it was summertime and it was ridiculously hot, but not there. And there was trash floating by the bridge, and it was just random whatever. I don't like a candy wrapper and a bottle, and I don't remember what it was. And I tried to reach down and get it. I couldn't reach it, but I took a picture of it and I posted this on, and it's one of those pictures that you like to look at because you don't like to look at it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm like, who the crap does this? You know, there's a trash can right there and right there. Was it really that hard? You know?
What actually happens, because we are technically at the bottom of a hill from the downtown square, we have large screens that have been installed that are supposed to catch a lot of that trash.
It washes in.
And it washes in. But then that's also such a great teachable moment when we're walking through with kids, because I can't tell you how many of them go home and talk about recycling, because they will see some plastic around the neck of a turtle, or, how it's affecting the flora and fauna in the wetlands. So sometimes we have to take really nasty things and turn them into a teachable moment. And kids are passionate.
And it also shows just the watershed and how that everything kind of flows down.
Yeah. And you see those signs on the interstate that talk about watershed. So, and that's always been interesting to me. You're driving in a straight line or whatever, and you see this, and it's watershed to whatever, and it always lists the water source. And I like to go back and try to look at a map and be like, all right, so this is the watershed, and it's, sometimes it's a long
Big
way.
distance.
Yeah. So, all right. So funny story. Another time running on the boardwalk, it had just started raining just a little bit. I was running with my son, and at the time he was probably, I don't know, 8 or 9. And he, I'm going to beat you, Dad. I'm going to beat you. And he didn't beat me, except this time he did, because we took off down the boardwalk from the playground, and we go to make that first right-hand turn, and my feet went sideways, like this. It had to have looked like something out of a cartoon, because I hit square on this shoulder when I went down. And I just kind of laid there for a second, and he, kind of comes walking back, and I'm like, yep, I'm whole. Okay. I'm really sore already, but I'm at least whole. Yeah. So anyway.
Then did he chuckle, or did he not?
I think no, he did not immediately. But then when I stood up, I was like, I bet that was pretty fun to watch, wasn't he? And then he started to laugh. So disarm that.
I can't imagine he would have passed up an opportunity to get a laugh at your expense.
Man, it was brutal. 0 out of 5 stars on that one.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, do not recommend. So what are some ways that people can get involved at the Discovery Center? I know you have memberships, so that's an easy one. Well, what else?
Go ahead. We have all kinds of opportunities for adults to be involved. And one of the ways is we are a nonprofit, and it costs a lot to operate every day. So we have a couple of fundraisers throughout the year that folks can attend. And we have them scheduled already. Wine and Whiskey at the Wetlands will be in March. Shakespeare will be in May. We have our annual Secret Garden Party. And then we had Discover Rutherford this year as well. And there's a various number of ways as far as financial support. Beyond that, we need lots of volunteers. And they can start as, how young are you taking them now? 16?
But 16 and up. High school.
So volunteering is a great way. And you can volunteer if you're a former teacher, and you want to come and help with some field trips one day. That's another great way. So there's a variety of ways. Membership, of course, is really important as well. We also involve the community to do co-creation. So we brought in community members to help us with the redo of Tiny Town. Did some focus groups, talked to parents, what did they want to see? And we have an advisory board that kind of helps with that, so you can get involved that way.
And we're looking to pull in a youth advisory
council and get that restarted. We did have the youth group prior to 2020. So
everything was prior to 2020. You noticed that?
Yeah.
And then we also
BC before COVID.
And then something new is we started the Guild, which is a way of we really want to be inclusive and diversify our audience. So the Guild is really focused on that. And that was what Discover Rutherford was for. The funds raised from that, the Guild want to see to go forward for free access, for free family memberships for those families that qualify. Schools, field trips. We have a seamless process where kids can come for free. which is sponsored through our Kids First program. So there's so many ways of getting involved, and really spreading the word. We're a little hidden down there.
Mhm.
And with the dynamic growth going on in Middle Tennessee and specifically in Rutherford County, we have so many new folks that are moving here, as you know.
And they may not ever drive by that.
And they may never drive that
Accidentally.
way. Accidentally. So we do get a lot of guests through sharing, but that's person to person. Grassroots is a great way
Sure.
to find out about us.
Now, you mentioned something. So Nourish Food Bank just had an event there, Putt Putt, right before Halloween. And you can rent the facility for private parties, which they did. And they set up a giant putt-putt course all the way through the facility.
This is their second year.
It was, yeah. And but you mentioned that there's a partnership with you guys and Nourish.
Yes. So we, Discovery Center started, it's called the Joy of Philanthropy. And we were really wanting to focus on sort of a triad of education, food, and shelter. So we have partnered with Habitat, Nourish Food Bank, and Discovery Center. And we meet with advisors, estate planning attorneys, and this is long-term plan giving or end-of-year giving. And so clients or people can donate and indicate whether they want to do 100% Nourish or do a third. So it's really that abundance mentality and collective impact of working together. And it's really a unique model that we've started. And so we're really excited about that. And of course, we want to work with Nourish when they're having their fundraisers and have them at our place. And then it goes beyond that because Discovery Center has donated kits to Nourish Food Bank, STEM kits that they can distribute. And then Randy at Habitat talked about doing a mini build in our parking lot where kids can be involved with that and do some programming. So it goes beyond, it's just a really strong partnership programmatically and financially.
Well, you definitely picked two of my favorite organizations to team up with. So Terry and Randy over at Habitat, and then of
and
course,
we've got three of your favorite organizations,
I know.
right?
Well,
Altogether.
I'm talking to you, and you
Trifecta.
picked two others, and of course, LaDonna and Norman over there are phenomenal human beings.
They are.
So, Michelle, you have been to the Discovery Center.
Yes.
When was the last time you went?
Oh my gosh, probably when my senior in high school was little. I think Genevieve, my youngest, who is 9, has been maybe a couple times.
Well, this is your
but
homework.
It's been a long time.
Yep, we got to get all of our kids to go to the Discovery Center over the next couple weeks.
Oh heck, I was thinking larger than that. I thought I'd go get 4th grade at Overall Creek Elementary on board for a spring field trip.
Yeah.
I think it's time to call Don
Call
Barge.
Mr. Barge.
Call Mr. Barge.
Mr. Barge, I'm coming for you.
Oh, that's great. Okay. So what have I not asked you that you want to make sure people know about?
I think something really important is that what the pandemic taught us and taught everyone in our industry is that children's museums and science centers are so much more than just the building. And we have a really vibrant mobile education where we go out to schools, we do assemblies, so we can take what we offer beyond the walls to rural counties. And last year, very proudly, we were announced as the largest leadership grant in the country through the Institute of Museum and Library Services.
Wow.
So it's effectively, with the match, a $2 million grant, and we partnered with Adventure Science Center, Mosh in Memphis, Creative Discovery in Chattanooga, the Muse in Knoxville, and Hands On in Johnson City. And we are working together and focusing on rural counties that are way out there and don't have access to what we offer, both the teachers, the educators, the children, and the families. It's about community building. So children's museums historically and Discovery Center now is very much about building community and being the hub for the community and being inclusive. There's a lot of cultures that grow up not aware of what a museum is and what a museum does. And so through our Nissan Foundation sponsors 8 free days, cultural free days a year. So that's another way of us being inclusive and making sure people that don't normally get access have some access to Discovery Center. So this outreach piece and reaching all children across the state is vitally important to us.
Yeah, I think you guys did I forgot what they called it, but essentially a field trip in place at my kid's school.
Okay.
Maybe 2 years ago at Thurman Francis.
Oh yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that was pretty cool. And all right, so a couple quick things. Get a membership. There's different levels of membership. There's different, you can have a caregiver that takes, somebody outside
Makes
of the
that
family.
great holiday
The
gift
holiday
as well.
gift coming up right now. Families are going to be getting together for Thanksgiving and saying, okay, what do we do for gifts this year? Well, this is a great way, rather than buying a lot of stuff, is to give experiences.
Yeah, for
Can
sure.
those be ordered online? The
Yeah.
membership,
Mhm.
like a gift card or something?
Yes.
Absolutely.
That's cool.
And what's cool, correct me if I'm wrong, but y'all's membership also gives some discounts or admission, something to other.
Gives access, yes. Reciprocal memberships.
Right.
Yeah.
Depending on what level.
Depending on the level of membership.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I think isn't there one in Birmingham perhaps that is connected to that? And
Yes, with the ASTC.
Chattanooga.
The McQuain in Birmingham, which is a great
Mhm.
place, by the
Yep,
way.
visited that. It's cool.
Yeah, it's very cool. And I think that you've got to be 50 miles
Right.
outside of
So basically just the Nashville is the only one that probably wouldn't be outside of that.
Yes.
right.
Correct. Everything else
Yes.
is outside of
Is
that.
outside of that.
Okay. And then the last thing, you mentioned something
Mhm.
before we got on camera that I was not aware of. And I feel like if you stayed and you watched this entire episode, you deserve to get this insider tip.
Oh, yes. I was thinking of all the tips. Here is the tip that Michelle's going to try next time. she
Michelle, nothing.
comes.
She might, but I definitely
I have a feeling Michelle's going to come and visit me tomorrow.
So
I might come by myself. Forget the kids.
Yeah.
They got to go to school.
the best way and the quickest way to go from the second floor to the first floor is to secure a piece of wax paper
Mm-hmm.
and go down the slide.
The slide's cool anyway,
Right.
Yes.
but I had no idea that wax paper was even an option. Honestly.
Yes.
And you realize it's an
Yes.
adult grade slide.
Yeah.
I hope
Okay.
so, because I have used that slide
So
on
have
multiple
I.
occasions.
Also hot off the press is the Star Lab. Do you want to?
Oh, the Star Lab. We set that up. Amazing.
Tell me more.
Oh, it's huge. It fits about 30 adults, 40 kids comfortably. And we had 30 adults in there today and children, and there was plenty of room. But you get to like blast off into outer space. You get to go in. It is a portable.
We can take it out to.
We can take it anywhere. Portable planetarium.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so cool.
Okay, so boss, I'm thinking Friday we tell the team to meet us at Discovery Center,
We need some video.
and we just do this
Oh,
thing.
I'm bringing a whole roll of wax paper, y'all. I'm gonna wear that.
I'll blow
slide
up.
out.
I'll blow up the planetarium. We can lay back, bring a
Hey.
pillow. We can gaze at the stars.
Liz
we can
has
pick
us
any day.
covered.
We can program any day and stare at the night sky
So I
of
gotta tell
whatever
you a
day
funny
you
story.
choose.
The little light thing with the
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
you turn it.
turn the
Mhm.
knobs and it changes the color of the light
Yeah.
thing. I stood there one day and all the kids were playing and I was sitting there making this really awesome picture and I like counted it and made sure it was even and it looked really cool. And I went around to go up the stairs to take a picture of it. And
And
some little
Oh.
kid messed it up. And I was like, oh, I want to be mad at you, but I can't. So
Next time you come, there's a way of there's an app where you can save it, your design.
Huh?
I'll get the details for you, but come see us.
I
next
don't know
time.
about this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Friday, I think we have a team meeting at Discovery Center.
And we have all of the other animals as well. We have more than
Yeah.
just those turtles.
Yeah.
We have two corn snakes. We have a ball
I'm out
python.
on snakes.
Do we have
Two
time for a
chinchillas.
really quick animal story?
Yeah.
This was probably about 8 years ago. I got a call at midnight and there was a fire at Discovery Center. And so rushed over there. Of course, the fire department was there. It was a small fire in the animal room, but what that did was launch the sprinkler system. So all the terrariums looked like aquariums. And our wonderful fire department was in there rescuing animals. And this big, burly fireman handed me, with a look of terror on his face, our ball python. And
He's better. I'd be like, I'm out on this one.
so non-venomous, we don't have anything venomous.
I don't care.
But I know. But he rescued our python and actually all our animals, and it took off in the Twitter sphere because the sprinkler system company was cheering that stopped the fire in Discovery Center and saved the animals. But yeah,
But then almost drown the animals.
But we had wet chinchillas.
we had wet chinchillas. and the one animal in there that's supposed to survive anything, the hissing cockroaches. Sadly, that was the only animal that did not survive.
That's always said freaked me out. I'm not going to lie.
The
That's
hissing
interesting.
cockroaches.
So
Hissing
Yeah.
cockroaches.
I don't do snakes so much that I don't even like snakeskin boots. I don't like the little wooden toy at Cracker Barrel.
I know what we're looking at when you come over to
I will
Discovery Center.
keep Bill away from you. Don't worry.
If
I'll
you
keep him
get the
back.
snake out, I will be over there. And I will
Really?
be happy to look at it from over there.
Mm.
Yeah. My daughter was like, Dad, come touch the snake. And I'm like, nope. Not for me. Nope.
Oh, we'll
Spiders
show you how
don't
to
bother
use
me.
2 fingers and
Bugs don't bother me. I don't do snakes.
We're gonna get past this fear.
No, we're
We
not.
we are.
I'm just going to tell you, challenge not accepted. I'm just saying.
I'll bring the video camera.
Nope. I don't do snakes.
I knew we should have brought something
People
with
will
us.
pay for that.
They would, and they'd keep paying because it ain't going to happen.
We would have had to remote him in on Zoom if you brought.
Yep. Look, here's the deal. If there's really any danger
could have
that's going to
brought-
happen, I'm not going.
We could have brought Bill here today.
I know. Or Maisie.
Maisie.
Yeah.
This is a corn snake.
Yes.
Yeah, they look like coral snakes to me.
Yes.
No, that's not
Oh,
good.
but she's so sweet.
So
No,
Maisie,
she's not.
Maisie disappeared for a month, and this was years ago. And we thought,
Y'all need to
oh.
post a sign when that happens. There is a snake loose in the Discovery Center.
But
There's a snake in my boot.
She turned up near the fire truck, and she was safe. So yeah,
And the whole facility was mouse free. It was great.
yes, this is true.
That's
Awesome.
what we need to do.
Y'all,
Yeah.
thank
Save
you.
some money.
Thank you so much for being
This
here.
is so fun. And
Yeah,
I
this
just
is
want to
awesome.
say I love the name of the show. And I just, that's what we try and do every day with children and families.
Mhm.
And so just really appreciate what you all do here and with
Well,
this
Trent-
podcast.
Trent's the spread the positive guy, and he has. I think you're up to like 40 podcasts that he has on the network.
Yeah.
We're just one of them. I will invite you guys back if at any point you would like to join me. One of the things that we do on Table Talk is we like to have conversations that make people uncomfortable, to demonstrate how to
Mhm.
have a conversation
Mhm.
about topics that
You
We
don't
should talk about, but we
necessarily
don't.
agree
We're all about it.
Yep. And it's, I want to modeling good behavior,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Like, let's talk about, we don't have to disagree. We don't have to agree,
Mhm.
but we do have to get along.
Mhm.
and that's
I agree.
and that's for some
disagree.
reason that's
No.
hard for some people.
We need more of it.
Yeah. So
We
we
have
try
this
to
conversation often.
Yes.
we try to model
Yes.
that good behavior. I had a guest last week. It was one of my favorite shows. He was when I coached at Blackman High School, I coached wrestling there. He was my assistant coach. And, he and I talked about the topic of white privilege. And that's something that it's very uncomfortable for people to talk about, but we talked about it and, we got a little bit closer to it's sort of like lines, right? Like, do they ever actually touch? I don't know if they ever can, but can we get a little closer, right? Can we just keep moving it just a little closer, a little better understanding? And if we can do that and still walk out of here and go get a beer or meal or
Right.
coffee or whatever, then life
we
is good.
won.
That's it. Life is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate all that you do for our community. I appreciate the way that you approach what you do. It's refreshing. It's wonderful. And our place, our community is better because of y'all and what you do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Same to you.
Oh,
Thank you.
thanks.
All right. I guess that's it, Trent. If you need a mortgage, call Bryan. If you need real estate stuff, call me.
Thanks, Trent. Brian will be in touch soon.